Hello again, everyone. As a review, your requirements in our subject is an outline and an outline presentation. So, the deadline of these requirements are at the end of this term. So, I think the last day of classes is on July 15th. Okay, so you need to submit these requirements on or before July 15th. Okay, so requirement number 2 is the outline presentation. So for today, I'll be presenting my outline as an example. Hello everyone, I am Jane Camille Akers Sostomo, and today I'll be presenting my thesis proposal entitled Acacia Pods sa Manea Saman as a substitute for concentrate on growing and lactating goats, under the supervision of my advisor, Professor Jamal James D. Manlapig. As an introduction, the major constraint of ruminant production is feed scarcity and low availability of quality feeds. This results to low productivity of doe, such as low conception rate, long feeding interval, and low milk production. Low productivity of doe leads to poor performance of kids. This condition demands for the search of inexpensive and locally accessible feedstock. Leguminous fruits are abundant during the dry season. Acacia pods are rich in protein and could be a viable potential feed supplement to improve goat productivity. These acacia pods can ensure year-round feed supply. For the statement of the problem, the scarcity of quality feed results in poor animal performance, especially during the dry season. Acacia pods can be utilized as a source of quality feed material to increase this productivity. These acacia pods are abundant with no cost involved. Thus, this study will be conducted to determine the feeding value of acacia pods to goats. The general objective of my study 1 is to determine the potential of acacia pods as a substitute to concentrate of growing goats. Specifically, it aims to determine the approximate composition of acacia pod with the aim of using them as an alternative feed resource. Next is to measure the gain in weight, feed consumption, and feed conversion efficiency of goats fed with different levels of acacia pods and napier grass through feeding trial. And to determine the economic viability of using acacia pods as a substitute for concentrate on growing goats. The general objective of my study 2 is to determine the potential of acacia pods with the aim is to determine the potential of acacia pods as a substitute to concentrate of lactating goats. Specifically, it aims to determine the proximate composition of acacia pods with the aim of using them as an alternative feed resource. Next is to measure the milk yield and milk components of goats fed with different levels of acacia pods and napier grass through the feeding trial. And lastly, to determine the economic viability of using acacia pods as a substitute for concentrate on lactating goats. For the hypothesis of the study, the acacia pods could be a rich source of protein that will increase growth performance of goats and milk production of goats. These acacia pods will be used at varying levels for growing and lactating goats. Only upgraded animals will be used in the study, and the study will be conducted at the Small Ruminant Center, Central Luzon State University from February to April 2019. So as a methodology of my study 1, 15 upgraded growing goats with an average weight of 15 kilograms of mixed sex at 3 months of age will be distributed over 3 treatments and replicated 5 times following a completely randomized design. 70% of the dry matter of the animals will be given as a basal diet of napier grass in all of the treatments, and 30% will be given as a concentrate feeds. The dietary treatments were as follows. Treatment 1 will be composed of 70% basal diet plus 30% commercial concentrate. Treatment 2 would be 70% basal diet, 15% commercial concentrate, and 15% acacia buds. While treatment 3 is 70% basal diets plus 30% acacia buds. For the preparation of experimental diets, the amount of feeds to be given will be based on the animal's body weight following the nutrient requirement of Curl 1982. The dry matter intake of goats fed with combination of Napier grass and commercial concentrate diet and Napier grass with acacia pods will be computed. Napier grass will be chopped 3 inches long and acacia pods will be ground to pass the 1 mm screen mesh using hammer mill after sun drying for 7 days. Mixed acacia pods and commercial concentrate diet will be offered twice on a daily basis. 6 in the morning before roughage feeding and 5 p.m. in the afternoon and 5 p.m. after feeding with roughage. Fresh water will be made available at all times and feed refusal will be weighed before feeding the following day. On my study 2, 15 upgraded lactating goats will be used in this experiment. The animals will be randomly assigned to 3 dietary treatments with 3 replications per treatment and 1 animal per replicate following the method of completely randomized design. 1.5 kg of Napier will be given as a basal diets in all of the treatments and 1 kg of concentrate feed will be given to the animals during milking. The dietary treatments were as follows. In treatment 1, 1 kg basal diet plus 1 kg concentrate feeds. Treatment 2, 1.5 kg basal diet plus half kilo of commercial concentrate and half kilo of acacia pods. While treatment 3, 1.5 kg basal diet plus 1 kg acacia pods. Okay, so for the preparation of the experimental diet, it will be the same as the preparation of the experimental diets of treatment 1. However, the dietary treatments will be offered twice during milking time, 5 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Also, the feed refusals will be weighed before feeding the following day. Okay, so for the proximate analysis of Napier grass, commercial concentrate, and acacia pod, this data is from Phil San, Gromax, and Babayemi et al. 2010. So the dry matter of Napier grass is 17.1, while the commercial concentrate is 87% and the acacia pods 60.5%. The crude protein is significantly higher in acacia pods, also with crude fat and ADF. This is the calculated composition of treatment based on the proximate analysis with roughage to concentrate ratio of 70%. Okay, so in treatment 1 has the highest dry matter content, while treatment 3 has the lowest lowest dry matter content. Treatment 3 also has the highest neutral detergent fiber and acid detergent fiber. For the data gathering, for the body weight changes, average daily gain will be measured, the average daily feed consumption, and the feed conversion ratio. Also, the milk yield, milk components will be gathered through hand milking and through lactoscan, and the cost of production will be computed using total feed cost per kilogram gain, and feed cost per kilogram milk yield. So the experimental animals will be weighed at the start of study and at the end of each month. Initial body weight of goats will be obtained immediately at the start of the experiment, and weighing will be done 3 hours after feed withdrawal. Milk recording will be performed daily through hand milking twice a day, 6 to 7 a.m. and 3 to 4 p.m. The collected milk will be measured using volumetric flask. Meanwhile, milk fat, milk protein, total solids, and solid non-fat will be analyzed using lactoscan. This is an electronic milk component analyzer with thermal printer. The determination of nutrient composition of acacia pods through proximate analysis will be conducted using the standard procedures of AOAC 1984. The NDF and ADF developed by Goring and Vance West will be used to describe the various fiber fractions of the acacia pods. Okay, so that's all po. Thank you for listening. Okay, class. So you'll be presenting your outline just like how I presented mine. Okay, but I presented my outline during my MS, so that this is thesis, while you will be presenting your major practice outline. Okay, so I hope you can submit your presentation on or before July 15 so that I can submit your grades on time.